We've seen the market change quite a lot in regards to renewable sector, and we're at the forefront of that, from terminations of your battery cable to alternatively the torque aspect of your framework, your panel work, and additionally your mounting systems. The market is changing quite drastically now, from customers needing data on torque applications, whether crimp terminations are failing, causing quite critical failures regarding fires. We support that. We'll come to site, we give you recommendations, we give you a bit of additional information to support that moving forward. What I'd like to do with you guys is run over 2 product lines that we currently run and operate. One of them is Clouter for your battery hydraulic terminations and also your consumables. So whether that is a battery storage lug or a biometallic for an aluminium to copper termination, or alternatively just for your standard crimps in your inverter crimps. The biometallics are spec'd in on quite a few sites now, and we do hold them in stock. Same with 274R12V Suffolks. One of the main things we spec'd in the V Suffolks was for ourselves, it was an aluminium termination. Okay, aluminium to aluminium. Problem is they've obviously got the corrosion aspect. By adding the V Suffolks is a tin plating, and with our expertise, this is where we found that to be more necessary in the UK. Unfortunately, we're not blessed by the best weather, so there is moisture in the air. Crimp tooling, Clouter operate quite a few different platforms, from a 22 series, a 13 series, and a 15 series, covering a range from 6 square mil all the way up to 630 square mil. In most applications, we're seeing a lot of 240s now upwards, especially for your battery storage terminations and your EV stuff. But one of the platforms there, so an EKM 6022, will cover you from 6 square mil to 300, and then we upgrade then to a different series of tool to get a larger size termination there. All Clouter battery platforms are all battery hydraulic, apart from EK50ML. EK50ML is electromechanical crimp tool. Common question we get asked regarding the crimp tools is service cycle and calibration. So the service cycle and calibration on any Clouter platform is either 10,000 cycles or alternative 1 year. That is quite important. Obviously, a lot of customers will run a tool into the ground. Totally understand it. I probably would if I could. But the critical aspect there is, if the tool's out of cal, you don't know that termination's done correctly. We always contact the customer, keep them in the loop, saying when the calibration's due. What I like to do, guys, is run through a quick demo of how a 6022 with a 35mm die works on a L series lug, terminated with fine copper stranded wire. So nice and easy, goes in, bottom jaw moves, termination complete. That's not going anywhere. Interchangeable dies on it. You can buy them individually, you can buy them as a full platform. Completely up to you guys. If you're terminating a aluminium lug or a aluminium cable, is making sure you got the right dies. A lot of the industry don't realize the difference it can make, but I've seen it and witnessed it firsthand. Massive overcrimps, undercrimps, failures because the wrong dies are being used in the wrong tool. And that does become critical with hot spots, arcing within boxes, and additionally just failures in pull-off. It's mad to think, obviously, just something as simple as an aluminium die set against a copper die set could do that, but the material's completely different in hardness, so it's always going to happen. Moving on from that as well, chaps, obviously we've got the Ingersoll Rand systems. Another common movement we have seen within the solar market is the torque settings. The days of rattle gunning it in and hoping for the best, they're fading out quite quickly. Main reason behind that is obviously insurances. We live in the UK, we get hit by a lot of storms. We get a lot of storm failures because of that. You know, I've been on sites with customers where they've lost a good 100 panels just because the torque ratings were off. If you then try doing a warranty claim and the manufacturer turns around to you and goes, prove to me that it's been done correctly, and you haven't got that documentation, it's game over. We're moving with the times. These tools are already used in many sectors, from automotive manufacturing to military applications. We've then sort of branched out into the renewable sector with them. Massively important there that they were already used in the renewable sector, just never in the UK. So Europe seemed to be quite ahead of us in regards to what they do. But every single bit of data that the two tools can give you, the QX platforms, is classed as a critical fastening. So whether that's from a framework on a framework fastener, alternatively, whether that's just a mounting clamp, which normally have quite a low torque setting of, say, 7 to 8 newton meters. Framework fastening wise, I've seen quite a few high ones, but the key there is QX can also run a multiplier. So your ground mounts, stuff like that, you can physically run a multiplier on it and increase the torque range. The tool I have here is an 80 newton meter tool, and this is a 24 newton meter tool. Some of you guys watching might think 80 newton meters. I've done ground mounts at 140, 200 newton meters. Well, we can just run a multiplier on this and give you exactly the same auditing function. It's projects we've worked on to get solutions for customers, especially on the ground mounts, and it's something I want to move forward on even further as well.